Hi, Olesia, how are you doing today?
Hello, Valentine. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay,
Nice to
then
see you.
thank you for coming to this Zoom. What I want to propose to you today is this topic. Who is Marius Ghidel, the Romanian writer? How did you meet him? What did you learn from his teaching, and how it changed your life? Okay, then let's start. Who
Yeah,
is
first,
Marius Ghidel, the Romanian writer?
first I want to say thank you for your invitation. And
Welcome.
yeah, it's a very interesting theme. Let's say
Yes.
how I met Marius Ghidel. Yeah, I met him through some kind of videos through YouTube.
Okay.
I was looking to find in that moment. I was looking to find myself. Actually, how we all do. Not looking for some kind of lesson, but to understand what's happening in my life,
Right.
what I'm getting through. So that's how the video came. It was he was talking about his first book, Shangri-La,
Right.
and I was very interested about his talking, about his discussion. He was talking about things which can be applicable to my life, like
Right.
real things, not just theoretically. Like practically, how can I do them? How can I do this surrounding things? How can I do this accepting things to my life? What is happening? How to accept all this happening? What is happening? And his teaching is very simple, which only the simple things can be true, which can
Right.
be applicable, not just um, like a theory or like a science, which never ends. We
Right.
want things to be understandable, how we can put into our daily life, day-to-day life with our kids, with our uh, people around us, not just talks. We have enough of reading books. We had enough of videos of talkings, but not being clear and short. What, as a human being, what you can do to have a happy in yourself. Like what we all want is feeling this happy. We actually are happy inside us, but how to live this happiness truly, because we are already having this all inside us. And the only way is to be obedient to
Right.
everybody, you, especially starting with your family. If you have disobedient to your family,
Then
being
everything is starting in your family, yeah, and the exterior probably is reflecting
yeah,
the harmony in the family. Where how do you explain that?
if you have the harmony in your family, is the miracle is happening inside your house, inside your house, then everything around you outside is the same. You cannot start from outside is everything perfect,
Right.
everything is how it should be. We are
Okay.
looking something to see parts which as we look different, they can be looking good or bad, but instead, if inside of you they are perfect, then outside everything is perfect. So first I had to start through this teaching. I took each part from his teaching. It's the only thing I could found to understand, because everything what I was looking, it was just more theoretically, like science, to be honest, and nothing how giving, no the key, didn't have any keys, how I can do that, yeah, to surrender, how to surrender, to accept, how to accept. You have to be obedient first to your wife, to your husband, I mean, not the husband not have to be obedient to your wife, but you
Right.
have to be obedient, to be submitted all the time under the one who comes in front of you, to listen to him, to give, not having your opinion first, but first listening to. And he was teaching. It's actually, I teach all these things from the people who was telling how he did that in life, so I can to be applicable all of this into my life. How they started, like looking for to do things for his husband. In my place, it was how I can fall in love again to my husband. How can I do things for him? How I did at the beginning from our story. How
beautiful.
Yeah, and I started with little things like cleaning after him with pleasure, cooking for him with pleasure, and for my kids, not doing just to be done. I did that. I give him the power, which before I used to take as a part of being mine as well. Why I was thinking why I do not have the right to have this. But you will have all of this if you'll give him. He will give you everything after that, but you have to give it first. And don't think about giving back, receiving back. It's about just giving and forget about it, just forgetting about it. Not thinking that in one time or somehow it will come back to me. No, if you have this feeling of how I will get it back, you'll never get it.
Right.
Because it's you blocking it. You just block it. And I was also, for me, it was difficult at that moment to understand how to accept things that I was thinking that are not really good for me, which is he doing with me, how to accept these things as being the best thing he is doing with me. And this was very interesting.
Yeah.
Because in the time when I was obedient, when I started to listen, it's looking like a humiliation, but it's not. It's totally not, because it's a pleasure to be obedient to your husband. It's a bit hard for our generation of femininity, like giving all this power, because we get it not really right from the beginning. We have been learned from school to reach some kind of success in life.
Yeah, even in the family, starting the first years,
Yeah,
they are teaching you to be somebody, not to be nothing. Be somebody. Be somebody.
Not to be nobody.
Yeah.
But you have to start from this little step, from being nobody into your home, and by the end of the day, understanding from how they hug you, how they love you, that you have been everybody for them in that little moment when you have been nobody.
Okay.
For them, it's just giving them, paying attention for every little thing they're asking to do for them, to do that with pleasure, not just doing to be done, to do it just to be done. It's like washing their shoes, not, oh, why not, you cannot wash these shoes. It's up to you. I do have two boys. One is a little bit enough to wash his shoes, what I was thinking. Why not? And I was thinking, why not for him to do it? But now when I started to do it, from the beginning, it was a bit of hard push. I was pushing myself a bit to do it because it's the opposite way I was running.
Who
And I had
instead,
to
in fact, who in fact was pushing? It was your ego?
It was my ego, yeah. We call it ego, but it's our mind. It's the illusion of our mind, which is also the power of God through us, who is doing all this thing.
Yeah, we need to say that the mind or the ego is also God, but on a lower vibration.
On a lower vibration, yeah, that's true. But we keep working on this lower vibration, and that by the end we don't understand why we have these pains in our life. Why do we have all kinds of unhappiness, but we don't understand why.
Or
It's
struggling.
coming from our ego. Yeah, and all of this, it's coming because we are growing up our ego, doing things for ourselves and not for others. And this is the way how we started from little. We are thinking, we thought that everyone have to give us. At the beginning, when we have been kids, we have been thinking that the parents have to give us food, the parents have to give us attention, and we forgot, because that's how our ego grows. Be understandable.
Right.
And when you grow up, you think you have to receive all the time this, but the person in front of you, you have to give all of this to pull down this ego, the pressure of it on this ego, not to be unhappy, because you waste your energy with this ego into your life. We call it as a devil, or you can say we call it wherever mind, which is also a God with a lower vibration.
Yes. What exactly? How exactly these teachings of Marius Ghidel, the Romanian writer, our a good friend, how exactly he was changing the way of thinking or the way of doing your things in the family first, and how this was reflecting in the exterior?
In all his books, if you start reading, or if you have if you find some kind of videos, he is explaining very short and clear in short sentences, not how you can start from some kind of little things to do into your life. And each day when you do that, you start to change your life, and it's your life is changing, but because of the way you change into yourself, it changes inside you. The way outside, it's a bit of it looks like it's changing, but you don't understand how the people around you are changing, how the situation in front of you is changing.
Okay,
Just
then if you're applying his teachings, let's say that you're applying his teachings like in an ordinary day, every moment of the day. Let's say you're applying his teachings. What exactly you should do? Like, for example, this miracle of changing the exterior is happening only because you're simply submitting or obeying your husband or something.
Yeah, obeying it. Yeah, he gives us some clue, like some tips. It's like some little tips how to apply it into your daily life. As for me, I was looking as a woman how to do it, as a mother how to do it, to my husband, to my kids, to my friends, to everyone around me. At my job, how to apply it with my colleagues at my job, how to apply it. And he gives you how to be surrender every time the one he comes in front, just to do that thing. And you'll see by the end of the day, you have energy, and you don't understand why this energy comes from, but only the way because you did during the day, you did these little things for
Okay, then
others.
sorry. Okay, how can you do this surrendering? Can you explain a little bit more? How you're in every day working or something or doing family things, whatever. What exactly means that, like
For
surrendering?
example,
How you can do that?
let's say a simple example with my husband. Yeah, if before I haven't, for me, it was a laziness. At the beginning, I did everything in the morning, waking up early to prepare for him a cup of tea.
Okay.
Yeah. During the period of our marriage, I thought, oh, he can do it by himself. And now I started to do it again, asking him what he wants for evening for me to cook. Before I forgot to ask him. I was doing what I wanted to do for cooking. Like sometimes I was asking him, but most of the time I was not thinking what he wants. Now I started to ask him, what do you want me to do for you? what do you like me to do for you? And to do it, not to and to do it with pleasure, not having this feeling that, oh, it's hard for me to do. No, do it like with pleasure, like, oh my God, I have this, my husband, so glad to have him around to do this thing for him.
Yeah,
Like,
beautiful.
so I'm so happy to have him. Most of the women, they don't have a husband. They are looking to have a man like mine, like I was thinking it's mine. To have him around, to clean his clothes after him, to wash his shoes after him, to prepare the next day lunch for him, like preparing the next lunch for a lunch box for him. And when you do it, like to do it, oh my God, when he will eat it, he will like it. Like, this is a love you give for him, and you will receive maybe, let's say maybe. And if you're not gonna receive the same, to be surrounded, happy inside of you that you did what you wanted to do with love, not thinking just to have something back, like an attitude from him, like to being, oh, thank you, not even asking for these thankful things from somebody else.
Then
Like,
being then surrendering to the person in front of you, that your husband, let's say in this example, uh, then you're surrendering. In fact, you're kind of person who's humble in front of him, or what exactly do you mean?
because after that, I thought he's doing everything for us, and I haven't been noticing all these little things.
Okay.
Why I cannot do all these things for him? Just, and by the way, you do these little things, your mind, into your mind comes that he's doing everything for us. He goes to work, he comes back home into this house, not choosing some other houses, or not choosing to go somewhere. And even if he goes, it's also, you have to allow him to go, not to criticize him for if he wants to meet with his friends, less like being glad for him having friends, meeting with them, having a beer or drink
And
or
you're
something.
not judging him if he's going to a
Not
pub and
judging
drink
him.
a beer?
Yeah, not judging him, just even more, just letting him to have this, not calling him, asking, where are you? When are you gonna come back?
Or
Not
if it's even if it's late and drinking two more beers or something, it's not a problem for you?
No, because if you're not having these problems into your head, because they're ego, you want to have him for yourself, which is not possible. The universe will do everything not to have him. If you want him to yourself, it's gonna be done everything, not having this attachment to someone, like having his as a property, as your own property.
Yeah,
It's
but you're
not.
grateful in the same time. It's not your property, you're not attached, but you're grateful because he's with you, with your family.
Yeah, and but by this way, letting him go and not judging him, but instead of judging, having this happiness of letting him go for just for a couple of minutes, because he will think about the family coming back, because he's glad to be here as well.
Then
He's like
he was at the beginning
welcomed. I mean,
surprised.
it's welcomed. He's
Yeah,
welcome to
sorry.
come back anytime, not being criticized what he does, what he
Okay,
did.
he at the beginning he was not surprised you were treating him like this, being humble and serving him.
Yeah, if you used to do it from the beginning when he met you, he knows a little bit of you, because when we met someone, we do everything just to see each other for this couple of minutes, to have a talking. And when by during the period of marriage we have in our families, we forgot all these things, and we are like I don't know, this kind of flower. When you try to, he attaches you and you start to eat him, and
Yeah,
you
like
have
carnivore.
yeah. So we have to release that, and to think how it was at the beginning all the time, to leave him and to welcome him
Okay.
at the same time. So this is the only way. to have your man into your life. If it will be to be your man into your life. And by the way, the kids, they will spend time. My husband will spend time with his kids only because I'm not criticizing the way he teaches his kids, accepting everything what he, not thinking that he is giving him right or wrong teaches, or he can do that, or he can improve somewhere. Like giving him a chance to be how the way he is, not wanting to transform him.
Okay.
Because he's perfect by the way he was created. I don't have to do anything changing him the way I was with my desires or something like that. And this school it's like for me it was like a miracle. Find it honestly. These people who like was sharing between with their life living. It was a sharing, like when someone is sharing you how to do it, how they did and they improved, and you can share with someone else how you did to improve your communication with your husband, with your kids, because it's very important. Sometimes we can lose our communication with our kids because they do spend time in their tablets, or your husband can come home with their phone instead of giving you some attention. And you think, oh, he's not loving me anymore. No, he loves you, but because you're not giving attention, you cannot receive it.
Okay.
Because
Right.
you are wasting this attention in different places, like going shopping or going to buy for yourself something which is not really happiness. It
Then
things like
you are treating him like a kind of god of the house.
a king of a house, like a god of
Okay.
a house. He is.
Okay. And
um,
you're asking him when you want to go to shopping or taking some groceries or something. You're asking him his permission or what?
I started to ask him uh, if I'm allowed to get something from the shop. Actually, most of the time he comes with me, but if he is not coming with me, then I am allowed. Over times, I started to ask him, which I didn't did it before. I thought I am allowed to get anything what I want. If we have everything, why I cannot get all this stuff, like makeup. I never asked him if I'm allowed to take some kind of makeup. Sometimes maybe, but very rare, to be honest. Most of the time, I thought it's my, if I have money, if he has money, why I cannot use his money?
Okay.
So when you have to ask him, but now I'm not taking anything without asking. If even if we want to go, if I have a desire of going somewhere, like walking or spending a weekend with our family, before I was choosing a place and telling him, can we go there? Now I'm like having a discussion. How about this place? Do you want to go? If no, it's okay. Not like having giving him, like sometimes if I have some kind of ideas, I let him to choose first.
Yeah, like to decide. He's always deciding,
Decide.
but you can propose something, but he's deciding in the last. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, actually
Okay.
sometimes he is asking for me.
How, what are you doing with your money? You're asking him for money, or he's keeping the money? What exactly? How you're buying things? You're having your own card or what?
He's the only boss now.
Okay,
I
interesting.
gave him the whole power
Yeah, this will
of
shake
ruling.
the world.
Yeah, of ruling it, like ruling that. Because if you give, when I started to give this power to him, uh, he started to have a success at his work, which before
Oh,
I didn't
interesting.
thought
It's
about.
like miracle happening, something like by miracle.
I didn't thought about that. He got some kind of jobs. They found very easy workers for his, because he has his own company. And before he didn't even, he had the company, but he couldn't find workers or managing all these things. But when I started giving all my power, like I don't know, like giving him a chance to not to coordinating him, like just to helping him, just staying on the side and just helping him when he's asking me to help for help. Sometimes I can say, if you need some help, I'm here, just ask. But before I was interrupting in his thinking. If he was trying to do something, I may come to say, oh, this is not a good idea. Even now, if I don't even think if it's a good idea or not, I'm just letting him do what he wants to do, being the boss.
Okay, then let's talk that. Sorry, it's probably some technical problem. Anyway, then if he's, for example, you're empowering him with love, then if you're empowering him with love, he's he's being successful in his daily life.
Yeah,
Okay, then
he's not complaining about pains or something. He started to waste some kind of weight, which before it was very difficult for him because I was thinking he's not perfect, body perfect. But because I was in love again with him, his body somehow became perfect.
Yeah, interesting, beautiful.
Yeah, and only little things. We do think that, oh, it's not, but when you give this power to your lovable man, to your husband, then in his life everything stands in order without for you wanting them. It's like the shape of each action he takes may sometimes it not look like a success, but the next day or the next month, it is a success.
How he is treating you when he's observing you're giving him love and power.
I don't think from the beginning he noticed it. He noticed it as what is this change with you? Like a shocking. Why did you change your mind? Not for me to do what all the way because in the before it was for him to do all I want to do. But now it's the opposite. I went to the opposite for him to do what he wants to do, and I will obey him.
Okay.
I will go with him. I will go with him wherever he chooses. I will go with him.
What your friends, your girlfriends or something, your friends, what they're saying about seeing you doing like this? What they're shocked or what they're saying? Where they're approving you?
Yeah, not saying it so much because it happened with some of our friends. They used to our relation to be a bit different.
Okay.
For me, being as the captain. And now when they see that he is the captain of the boat, and they do think, what's wrong with you? Are you sick? Why you are not, why you approve everything what he does? Why you let him go wherever he wants to go? Why you let him do whatever he wants to do? And it was a bit of not from our friends, for few of our friends, not to say from all of them, because we do have family with a very good with their partner, and I was teaching from them as well, some kind of tricks. But in this school, I did understand where it comes. Before, I was looking from outside what is happening there, what they do to understand. And when I was trying to understand, I could not understand everything, but here it was clear, told what through this teaching, from this Marius Ghidel teachings, it was telling you the way to do, how to do, and how to surrender yourself into your day, everyday minute and second. to everyone.
Let's say to
your husband.
Sorry, let's say to our friends here, then they can simply go on YouTube or Facebook and they can see or Instagram or TikTok, and they can make a search to the School of Love with Marius Ghidel, and they can, because you are referring to the school, and I wanted um, to make this to give this information out, then the School of Love with Marius Ghidel, then the first book, Shangri-La, will be, it's under translation right now, and we probably released. I can't wait to see it, and probably the people will we have more possibilities to learn about his teachings. Then for now they can go to the School of Love with Marius Ghidel, and they can see there is some videos there, and probably they can share with friends, and probably we can do something good about how we can be a beautiful world again, like the universe can be changed only because your wife is simply empowering and loving her husband. Okay, then yeah, please continue with your idea. Sorry.
Yeah, I will be honest. Not everyone from the beginning will accept everything.
Right.
It's a bit of difficult, I will say difficult, to accept everything, that you are the one, the lady, the woman in a house have to do most of the things to empower his husband. Not everyone will agree with that. It have to be it needed time and dedication for that, to understand these
Yeah, beautiful.
teachings. These teachings, to be understandable, you have to apply. If you are not applying the things it's teaching, it doesn't have anything. It's just a simple wasted time. That's it. You have to apply into your daily life, because it tells you simple way how to do it, little things to surrender, to be obedient, to be submitted to someone in front of you. Otherwise, it's not helping you anything through this teaching. You'll read it as a simple story. You'll read that book as a simple story. Maybe something will happen inside you and it will change. Maybe you already have, because we already have this inside of us, all this teaching. We just have to discover that in ourselves.
To remind
Already
them.
there. Remind them. We don't have to look from where somewhere outside. He came just a reminder to show who we are, that we are powdered, like say a powder of God in everyone around us. Son of love, we are sons of love. Like everyone is the son of love in this world, and nobody is up and down with you. That's why when you meet someone, first you are the one listening to him.
Yes.
Yeah, and you are the one who have to give your attention, because he is in front of you already. The one who comes in front of you, it's your mirror all the time. It's mirroring you, what is inside you. And in this school, you can be interested in listening it when you practice it, when you put it in, as a practice in your daily life. You don't have to do any kind of meditation, yoga, exercises, like kind of preaches. You don't need all this stuff. The only thing you have to do is to love the one in front of you, to do everything for him, what he asks you to do, even if you think it's as a stupid thing he's asking, like at work, not thinking you are the only one who is doing all the shit work. No, do it and enjoy it with doing it, because this is the greatness for having it, for being obedient to someone else.
Okay, very interesting, beautiful. What do you think will happen in the future if the people will simply learn about these teachings of Marius Ghidel? What do you think? How the world will transform?
Friends, just friends, like to understand each other, and like flowers, I don't know, never everyone enjoying, we will be like nature, like flowers, everyone enjoying the other color of other flower, the other shape, the other smell, but not confronting each other, like enjoying because someone else in front of you may show it being as a being different, but it's he's made from the same love as you have been made. So
Beautiful.
you cannot um, you cannot adjust someone because your ego is thinking that they have to be the way you want him to be, or the way you want to think about him. The way he thinks it has to be the same thinking of you. No, this is not important. You have to accept everyone's thinking.
Right.
Just to connect to each other, like being like connected, like the nature is connected, like leaves in the same tree with different shape, but it's a leaf, like of a flower. They are just from the same tree, the same root. We all came from the same root, from the same God, which lives
Beautiful.
inside of us, every one of us. You cannot say in that cat or that man in front of you who's arguing with you, saying that he's not the God in front of you. He is, even you are not accepting in that moment. He comes with a mirror from inside you to show you what is about you, to accept him the way he is, and he's not going to be confronting anymore with you, just only the way because he shows you, do you accept me like that? Do you love me like that? In that bad way you think I am, because we don't have this bad or good, not being judges.
Yeah, then in his core teachings that he's telling us our friend Marius Ghidel is telling us to not simply split in good and bad. Why? Because
Yeah.
if you're doing that, in fact, you will make a kind of turmoil in the exterior world, and the universe will simply shake you, and you'll see that something is not working. Why is not working? Why? Because you're judging, you're splitting everything in good and bad. Why you need to split in good and bad? Why you cannot simply accept everything as it is,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
simply let everybody to be how it is, like accepting everybody, in fact accepting what it is. In fact, I can say that it's the core teachings, and to simply allow the other person to be, and to be loved, and to love the other person. How? Because you're simply mirroring yourself in himself, and you're simply trying to be. Then I can appreciate, and I'm telling you that I congratulate you, and I'm asking you, if you're talking all the time with this kind of passion, then I'm telling you something. Then we are on the good road here. Why? Because if somebody's talking with passion, then it's like talking like you with this kind of passion. That means that we'll probably transform something in the future, in the new world will come, and the people will simply understand and will transform, will simply uh, be awakened from this matrix we are living. And probably if we are seeing the person in front of us like perfect, then probably the world will change in a like a miracle.
Oh, thank you. Say it very right, because about splitting all these things, we are the one interfering in this, becoming a judge. We are interfering in this amount of love which is in this world. We are interfering with our judges. You said it very properly.
That who's exactly is the judge? It's the
The
judge is the
ego.
ego. Then
Yeah, it's the
who's in
ego.
fact the ego? Then who's this ego? The mind. Then who's exactly the same? Like is God, but on a lower vibration?
Yeah, yeah. It's the mind, the God on the lower vibration, who is just trying us to push ourselves in the middle, just trying to push ourselves, not vibrating on a lower, because when you go up, you also will come down as well into a lower vibration to understand the one who is in the lower vibration, to raise him up. This is how I see the world. You have, when you up, you have also to get under the one who is in the lower vibration to raise him up. This is how the world works, like infinite love of electricity, love, which comes from each other, and it's God. It's only the one who is doing it. It's the power of God, which we have been all created, all of the creation in this nature. Only the rock, the things we cannot see, the air, the
water was
water,
exactly like
everything.
in Tao Te Ching, we can say that the Tao Te Ching is saying that the water is going lower, then God is going lower. God is taking always the second place and serving us every minute, every breath, every cell. Then every cell in our body is giving 80% of the energy to the whole body. It's like you said, we are all part of a tree. Then we are a leaf or something, or a branch or something. Then we are all one. In this oneness, this cannot work if we are not one.
Yeah, you said it very properly. The second, the God is the second, like.
Then the most important thing in let's say that if the God is second all the time, then means that the God is having the best position. Then, like in the lady in the family, she's not being the second, is not that she's not having power. In fact, being the second in the family, empowering the husband, in fact, she is like God, is second place, being the most important, I think.
Yeah, being the second, it's also it's most of the best place you can be. Actually,
Right.
being the second all the time, not
second. And serving
others.
the other, being in service to others, means that you are following the, let's say, the path of love, the path of God.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how the God is doing. He is beating our heart. He is in every one of us. Look how much power he needs to do it inside of every little atoms, of every little cells. Why we cannot be the second as him in our daily life, with the one in front of us, with everything in front of us? Let's be second as the God does for us in each little things in our life, like being a cell in the whole universe with all the humanity, being like a cells which are working for each other. Like to be a cell which gives everything.
Right. Then well, let's say that our time is up almost, and let's say that what kind of advice you will give to a young lady or a lady who is starting to learn Marius Ghidel's teachings? What exactly, let's say, like a conclusion, you can say, like an advice, piece of advice, okay? What exactly you will say to them?
As we discussed now, so this opinion on being second into your family, like being obedient to your husband, and then obedient to your kids, and obedient to your friends, being second all the times, you'll have the power of changing inside you to give love to others. You'll have this power of giving love. You'll have this energy to give them love, to spend time with them, to look after them. We need in our family to have energy to look after them, and you can look after them when you will be when you are keeping yourself all the time on a second place. It's as a woman, you have the beautiful chance into this life to be second, which is amazing.
Right.
It's amazing to be second. The man in front of you, your husband, is gonna do everything for you just because you support him. and you sustain him. And the kids as well, they will continue because the energy from your husband will go to your kids and not from you to your kids. It will, you first have to give to your husband, and then from your husband it goes to your kids and go on to your friends and to your family. If you want to be good,
the whole exterior world can change only because there is this second place, we are grateful there is this second place, like serving others. Okay, thank you very much, Olesia. Thank you for coming today on this Zoom. And yeah, thank you very much for your passion. You are talking like beautifully about things. Okay, then let's say to our friends that they can go to the YouTube channel, The School of Love with Marius Ghidel. And I can say to all of us, all of you, have a good day.
Oh, thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Thank you.